Ariel Helwani in Baltimore, Maryland for UFC 172 alongside Tim Boetsch, who meets Luke Rockhold this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Tim, interesting scenario yesterday. I saw a tweet from Luke Rockhold. He was in the gym working out, and you were there as well.
Yes.
Who was there first?
He was actually. So I kind of just made my way in, shook his hand, and started working out.
Was it awkward?
Not for me. John Jones was in there and was sure to bring it up and made it a little bit awkward for everybody. But no.
What a guy. What an instigator.
Thank you for that.
What did he say?
He was just, what did he say? He said, "Are you two guys fighting?" And we're like, "Oh, yeah, I think you are." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So he was apologetic, but no, it's fine.
Did you talk to Luke at all?
No, there weren't very many words between us, but it's fight week. We're not here to be friends.
Did you get a chance to size him up? I mean, I think based on the picture, you were actually in back of him, right?
Yes, I was working on a elliptical machine. He's a tall guy. He's a very big middleweight, but I knew that coming into this. That's no surprise.
He is coming off a very impressive win. A guy you know something about, Costa Philippou. You fought him a couple years back, and prior to that fight, he was coming off the Vitor Belfort fight. Which is the real Luke Rockhold, in your opinion? The one that got knocked out by Vitor, or the one who essentially broke down Costa Philippou very quickly?
Well, they're both him. He's got that switch that he can be knocked out, so that's something that I definitely am aware of. The other side of the coin, I'm very aware of his kicking power, so they're both Luke Rockhold. Which one shows up Saturday night is to be seen. But I'm going to do my best to bring that Vitor Belfort Luke Rockhold back and find that button again.
That means you're going to be throwing spinning back kicks? We haven't really seen that from
flying
yes.
Spinning back kicks, yeah. No. Just knowing that he has the ability to be knocked out is a confidence booster for me. So that's what I'm looking for.
He's a guy with obviously a great look, and he's a former Strikeforce middleweight champion. When he came into the UFC, there was some buzz about him, people thinking that he could be a potential contender or champion in the UFC. Do you think people are viewing this fight as just another stepping stone for him and not really giving you the respect that you deserve?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the odds, all the odds makers are doing the same thing. They think this is just another springboard for Luke to get closer to his title shot. But unfortunately for him, he's got to fight me on Saturday night. So that's the real dictation of who moves forward. And, we get to sort it out in the cage, which all the odds makers in the world have no control over that.
Why do you think they're favoring him so much?
I think mostly just because of our opponent in common in Costa Philippou and how that fight went down. He was able to finish it quickly. I ended up getting TKO'd in the third round. But for me, the past is in the past. So that Costa Philippou fight, things didn't go the way I had hoped. And it really all depends what we do Saturday night. It's up to Luke and I to sort it out.
Does this piss you off?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole basing our performances on that one fight is very frustrating for me, but I understand that that's the nature of the sport and it happens, and I'm just glad that I have the ability to prove everybody wrong on Saturday night.
You had the Hector Lombard win, which was a split decision. It was somewhat controversial. Then you had the 2 losses, and then you had the CB Dalloway win, which was also a split decision. Are you kind of jonesing for a dominant win here? Do you think that's what you need to get people to respect you a little more?
Without a doubt. The past year was very frustrating for me. Couldn't get things going the way I had hoped. Starting out my career with a lot of dominant finishes, I really want to get back on that track, and that's what I'm planning on doing Saturday.
Did you watch the Dalloway fight again, and are you 100% certain you did enough to win that fight?
Yeah, without a doubt. I could understand the judgment that he got more takedowns than I did, but after watching it, I don't really see the argument, but it's there. It's out there. People think it's controversial. I don't, but obviously I'm a little bit biased towards myself, so that's all I can really say about that.
You're based in Pennsylvania, but you train in the state of Washington with Matt Hume and his team, and you leave your family, and you have a pretty large family. How difficult is that for you?
It's extremely difficult. I'm more than blessed that I have a wife that allows me to go across the country and train for months at a time. Taking care of 3 kids is very stressful, and in fact, I think I probably have it easier at training camp than she does at home with the 3 kids. So. But it's definitely a sacrifice, and I think that's part of the frustration of when people give me the negative feedback on the fight performance, because they don't understand exactly what has been sacrificed to get in there and perform. And but that's kind of on my end.
Right.
People don't have to understand that, but when I see that and look at that, it does become very frustrating.
Why do you feel the need to go across the country? You can't be closer to home and train there and get the same kind of training?
I chose Matt's camp, and I knew that's where I needed to be based out of after my first time out there. I'd traveled around a little bit, hit a few different fight camps, but Matt's is a perfect fit. He understands me. His coaching style works out perfect, and I've been training there so long. I'm very comfortable with the training partners. It would be hard for me to move somewhere else. When you encounter new training partners, you encounter more risk for getting injured. And at my stage of my career, I don't really want to deal with those things. So training with Matt is where I'm going to stay.
Matt said, though, on the Countdown show that if you were around all year round, you might have a better chance to maybe improve and work with the guys. Do you agree with that? Do you think that you're missing out by not being so close to the gym?
For me, I disagree, because for me personally, I need a break. After I go through training camp, after 8 or 12 weeks, I'm at burnout phase. So if I didn't have the relief of going home, seeing my family, being away from the fight scene a little bit, I feel like I would probably burn out and it would become less productive.
How do you see this fight playing out?
My honest evaluation is it's going to be a long night for both of us. I see this going into the third round, and Luke can be very aggressive at times, come forward, moving hard, throwing hard punches and kicks. So it's going to be a rough night. We're going to get banged up. We're probably both going to the ER.
What's it like knowing that in the back of your mind that by Saturday you might be in the emergency room?
I think that's what separates me from a lot of guys. I'm very honest going into a fight. I know we're going to fight. We're going to get hurt. I've never been, well, I take that back. I have had fights where I haven't been hurt.
Right.
In the UFC, not so much. When you get in there with these guys, you're going to get banged up, you're going to get hurt. But that's part of fighting. Even when you win, you're hurt. So I'm looking to come out of there with the win, my hand raised. But it's going to be a long, hard night for both of us.
Looking forward to it very much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.